online, on digital, and on 88 to 91 FM. BBC Radio 2. Russell Brand.
You're listening to Russell Brand on Radio 2. That was Led Zeppelin with Black Dog. I am here live. This is actually happening now. If you want to send us an email, russell.brand@bbc.co.uk, or you can text us 88291, or you can give us a bell 0500 288 291. 288 Give us a ring. You can actually talk to us right now. By us, I mean, well, you might have heard some wheezing and coughing in the background. That's a confident little outburst for an unintroduced fella. That's Matt Morgan. He's in charge of any switch that needs to be switched on or off for a lever that needs to go up or down. He's generally in charge of it. Are you all right today, Matthew?
Yes, thanks for asking, Russell.
Is that because you've been doing exercise and it's made you feel upbeat?
Done some exercise, went to the gym for an hour and a half, then went for a bike ride.
Is that a lifestyle choice?
I'm not a homosexual, if that's what you mean. But I am going through a few issues.
Yeah, I've been down that gym that you go to now, and...
Why are you saying that so threatening, like you watched me through a window? Which you did this week when I was having a meal in a restaurant. Went for a meal with our agent, sat there having dinner. I saw you earlier in a restaurant. I watched you for 5 minutes from outside.
Well, I wanted to know what's going on. I thought, I wonder what they're like. Sometimes you might wonder if people are being upfront and honest with you. Well, here's a trick. Go and watch them when they don't know. See if they're exactly as they claim to be, and if they ain't, by jingo, you better put the mockers on that friendship.
Why were you dressed as a tree?
Because I didn't want myself to be discovered in the act, all right? I needed a bit of foliage, a bit of subterfuge were taking place. You and Nick Lennon, our agent, were sat there talking to each other for all the world like a couple of hirsute lovers, like Chris Christopherson and Chuck Norris, about to snog each other over a Thai meal in Tip Top Thai, a lovely Thai restaurant that you might like to go to in Hampstead, near where I live. Now, Matthew, would you be so kind as to pass me a copy of the newspaper we know as The Sun, which we have a curious relationship with, sometimes loving, sometimes loathing.
Well, am I a news agent now?
Well, I don't think you would ever rise to those heights, Matthew, because you wouldn't be trustworthy with the pornography. You'd be rifling
I wouldn't have
for
pornography if I was a news agent.
Why not? That's a big market.
It would make your job difficult. You wouldn't be able to relax.
No, I would relax with the pornography because you're not doing anything wrong. You're just stocking it. When you're buying pornography...
You wouldn't be able to just think, oh, okay, I'm going to get a job. You'd just go into work. You'd just look at porn.
No, you wouldn't. You would just stand there. You think, I'm going to make this the best damn news agents I can. Because imagine if you're buying porn, and I've not done it for a while, but when you buy porn, you're the embarrassed one. So you can't then also be the embarrassed one when you're the one selling porn. Although I do find, like in life in general, I am the one that's getting shafted. Like, for example, when I'm buying a house...
What, you've done those magazines?
I think it's just like passive about my nature. People just see...
I flick through and I'm in a great mood, and then suddenly there I am, drugged in an alley.
Matthew, please do not attack the pornography industry. Their working standards are sky high. Sorry if we insulted anyone who works in the world of porn, you dirty
Stop worrying
devils.
about treading on people's toes.
I will worry, as I did in the porn industry. I was trodding a fella's foot once. It cost us an hour's working. He deflated. So, yeah, listen to this in the Sun newspaper right today. It's just a little thing, but I get worried about stuff, and I'm not attacking the Sun in any way. It's their job to report the news. But I write, when I moved into my new house, I needed parking permits because, I don't own a car, so I don't have a resident, if you live in an house, you get a resident parking permit for your car,
Just get one?
Yeah, you can park your car whenever you like, right? But I don't have a car, so there's no requirement for that. But I do need the visitors' parking permits. So I got Marsha, my sister, goes, I'll write a letter to the neighbours, pop it round, try and get some visitors' parking permits, because it's really difficult to get hold of them. It's like trying to score some sort of rhino horn or something. It's not easy to get hold of, right? And I'm not suggesting for a moment that people, that rhino horn should be more readily available.
You're such an apologetic
I'm just worried about the rhinos.
Rhino listening.
Please don't be offended. You're a lovely little guy. I see you. You've got that thing on your nose. You're all grey and livery.
That's made out of hair, isn't it?
I don't know.
Hair.
Listen, it's not my problem, Matt. As long as the guys are happy, I'm right behind them 100%. So, it goes, write a nice letter asking the neighbours politely for a parking permit. Before I know it, the Am and I newspaper where I live, I phoned up, asked for a quote. Matthew, don't play with your phone when we're on the radio. What's wrong with you? He's doing that snakes game. It's the only thing that keeps him happy these days. He's in fits of tears when he's not distracted. Right, so it's on the front page of the local newspaper, Ham and I, saying, Russell Brand, like,
Sorry, is that Ham and High?
Hampstead and Highgate.
Ham and I.
Ham and I. Ham and I. Yeah,
that's like some sort of jewel. Ham and I.
Would you like an ham and I seized it from someone's nether regions in an undergrowth. Here, your tunnel programme's never going to happen. I need lay-bys.
Don't say that.
I will say it because we've got news on that tunnel programme, and Noel Gallagher will be on the show later on under the proviso that we bother to ring him and he picks up his phone. I'll ring him in it, check. We should have another guest as well. Let's try and get 2 guests in. Come on, let's shape up. Let's show the world we means business. So anyway, I'm upset about this parking permit thing. It was in my local newspaper. Now it's in like the Sun.
Assistant sent out letters to the people around you.
It politely saying, if you've got any parking permits, would you mind, could we buy them off you? Because they're like,
Is that all it
50p an
said?
hour. It might also have said, I'm better than you, so give them to me at once. No, it didn't say anything. It was really well, I didn't write it, so I don't know. But like, I imagine that Marsha would have written a fairly polite.
Insult.
What do you mean?
My client is a neighbour of yours. It's not very nice, is it? You should
but it was
write
written in the first person. It didn't say I'm writing on behalf.
Stuff you've baked.
I don't bake stuff. The only thing I know how to cook is heroin. And they'd fold at the first touch. Don't do drugs. Drugs are bad. Don't do it anymore, do I? So, yeah. So she sent that letter, and now there's all this rhubarb in the paper. Because I think one of my neighbours, and God knows I'll find out who. I'll find out which neighbour. It might be Jamie. I doubt it. Jamie Oliver's a lovely fella. So, like, but one of them gave that letter to the Ham and I, so it was in the local paper. Now it's in the Sun, and here's what it says: Russell Brand is begging neighbours for spare parking permits. I didn't beg.
True so far.
Requested, not begging. It's not begging. The verb to beg infers please.
But the noun begging letter.
But yeah, but begging. Not all letters are begging letters. There must be such a thing as a request letter, a politely request letter, or an invitation. What about the blind beggar, where George Cornell got done by Ronnie Clay? I went past it today, and that pub is doing much better than the pub over the road to it, the White Horse, because people think, there's some murder in there. I should drink my cider and think about murder.
Is there a bullet mark on the wall?
There's not a bullet mark on the wall. That's outside a pub in Hampstead, actually, where Ruth Ellis, the last woman to be hanged in Britain, done a murder. They've left the bullet hole there.
Some sort of dirty little murder fan.
I can't get enough dirty murders. If there's been a dirty murder, I'll most likely just hang around, thumbing the holes in the wall, sniffing it and thinking about what might have been.
They're putting that tape up, are you? Can I have a bit?
Yeah, can't bear that tape from my bedroom. Do you want a biscuit? Right, Russell Brand is begging, not begging, but requesting neighbours for spare parking permits because he has so many female visitors. It's mostly not that. He is offering cash or signed photos in exchange for them. That's the bit I find most offensive. I didn't try and use a photo of me. Why, that's almost a $50 bill, is it not? I never did that.
What did the letter say? What was the incentive?
The incentive just, we'll pay you for it, please. You know, and it was just polite, neighbourly gesture. You know, it wasn't like, I didn't start swaggering around with my nuts out. He is offering cash, blah, blah, blah. He wrote to neighbours in Hampstead, North London, begging. That's the second time we've heard the word begging for help. He said, I'm desperate for more permits and would eagerly buy any you feel you will not use. When contacted about the letters, Brand confessed, I'm living in a grim half-life, chatting to people through car windows and curtailing my afternoon liaisons. I did say that for a bit of a joke.
What does that mean? Why are you talking to them through car windows?
Well, just saying like that people can't park. That was the inference of that.
Right.
You know.
So people can't park, they just have to... How do you do your liaisons through a window?
Well, you just have to use the sort of an open window as a kind of glory hole. I mean, I suppose that is how you'd use it. One neighbour said of the letter, things like this go down like a lead balloon around here. The inference was, I'm famous, my needs are more important than yours. I don't think that was. It was just a request.
How are they so perceptive from just that?
It's incredible, really, because it wasn't even in my handwriting. They've still managed to get right to the nub. Camden Council said Brand was not breaking the law buying permits, but it was against the spirit of the parking scheme. Never deny the spirit of a parking scheme. Come on, we've got a lovely scheme. Don't spoil it, for Christ's sake. We're trying to enjoy ourselves. Yeah, that's ridiculous, ain't it? And a little bit... I
bet it's now going to be... People are going to park outside your house now. Now you've done that, mate.
I don't even have a car. Like, so why can't they think, well, you know, like if I had a car, there would constantly be a car there, right? And that car's never there. I mean, I don't go on about it.
Yeah, but surely the visitor's parking permit, it wouldn't be your car.
Exactly, it wouldn't be, but it's just that still what I'm saying is because I don't have a car, that's
you have to register
which I'd
your
be entitled
car.
to. You would.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, there's no loophole. I mean, God knows I've tried lying, but I've tried it all, Matthew.
Why don't you just start a park and ride scheme?
Park and ride?
Yeah.
How will it work?
They park somewhere else. You have a little minibus, which is your vehicle, driven by someone.
Park and ride.
And you bring them
Park
to your
and
house.
ride. We're operating with a scheme with loads of pride. Hop on the bus, come and see us. You don't need a ticket. I will help you pick it. Orgasms for free on the bus with me. Yeah, get that piano back in here.
The neighbours would appreciate you going around doing that.
I'm wearing a lovely hat. I'm driving busloads of dolly birds round Hampstead, all blowing off and coughing up syphilis out a van window. There you go. That's what we'll create in Hampstead. No, we won't. Dear Russell, Matt and G, Mr. G, our Poet Laureate's here. He'll be doing a poem later in the show to summarise what goes on. How does he do it? How does he do it? I was at Chelsea Theatre last night, says Greg. He goes, I said to my wife, that bloke in the front is balder than I am. It transpires it was Paul McKenna. I think that I'm related to him distantly. My nan said that, but she's dead now, so she can't confirm it. I was going to go and say hello to him afterwards, but he ran away before I could come up to him and start a conversation. Just as well he got away, because I think it may have been awkward. Please pass on my regards to him. OK, well, we will do that.
Paul McKenna does not run.
Paul McKenna glides. Hello, I'm Paul McKenna. I can help you change your life in 7 days in many ways. That's my Paul McKenna way. I really like Paul McKenna quite a lot. We see him again, didn't we? We saw him in Los Angeles. We see him again in London. He come and see, we were doing a run through of our new TV show. That will be on Channel 4 in October. It's called Russell Brand's Ponderland. Do watch out for it. Paul McKenna's really funny because, like, at the end of, if you go out with Paul McKenna, he sort of brainwashes you during the evening into, confirming that you've enjoyed the evening. Hello, we've had a lovely evening so far. Do you remember when the starters came? What a laugh that was. Then we had a glass of rosé wine. It's been brilliant. I'm Paul McKenna. Good night. He keeps sort of like brainwashing you, doesn't he, into like in the evening. Which it was a lovely evening.
It was lovely. It wasn't like he was trying to cover up something like slapping us or something.
Oh no, there was nothing like, it wasn't like Paul McKenna had actually been sick on the Tabo. That's because someone passed me a bit of information that said no phone call in really frightening letters. Just because a 10-year-old boy. Put that bloody camera on me. What are you doing?
I'm sorry, it's not on you.
Someone's moving. Well, I can't see how you can get it more on me by moving it away from me. You can have a look at the webcam now. You will be able to see the carpet upon which I stand if you choose, because Mikey, that Scottish nit, can't understand basic angles. If Pythagoras was still alive, he'd probably get Mikey, grip him by his throat, and I don't know, probably see what kind of a man Mikey really is. And I imagine he'd find out passive would be the answer. So, Paul McKenna, he's a lot of fun, isn't he?
He certainly is.
We enjoy him enormously. I do like to be brainwashed by a man during an evening. Get your brain rinsed
nice,
out.
Doesn't it? Brainwash.
I don't like brainchild though as a phrase. Yeah. Oh, that's your brainchild. What a horrible little top, all of its brain emerging out of its skull.
No, I see a brain with legs.
With little short trousers on and socks.
Yeah.
And they're holding a lollipop going, take me to the zoo. I want to see how many species of mammals I can count. Because it's clever. It's a little brainchild.
Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah, it's horrible. What else do you not like? Get my creative juices flowing.
Yeah, I don't like that. And people going, can I pick your brains?
No, you can't pick it with your talents. Who do you think I am? Prometheus? Oh, yeah, we're referencing some hardcore
You
things.
always reference it.
Nope.
Prometheus stole fire from the gods.
We're teaching
people. Do you know anything
people.
more about that?
Yep, he got chained up onto a cliff, and every night eagle pecked his gutty watts out. Then his gutty watts grew back, and then the eagle come the next night and pecked it out again, which is pretty much how I live my life. I do a nice show, do a nice performance. Next day, get my guts pecked out by one of the band. The Eagles, at a little place we call the Hotel California, which is where we meet each other, massage each other, then we leave there, floods of tears, but still holding hands. That's me and the Eagles for you. Why don't you let us know what kind of phrases or linguistic tics make you feel right brand off? Matt don't like, what do you don't like? What's the other ones you don't like? Creative juices flowing. I don't like brainchild, pick your brains. Think of things like that. Go, I don't like that phrase. That phrase conjures up a horrible image. Why don't you think of one? Send it to us. You can give us a ring on 0500 288 291, or you can text us 88291, or you can email me, russell.brand@bbc.co.uk. Okay. Now, them last sounds were not proper sounds, but if you know what sounds are supposed to sound like, you can work it out. There was a lad in his bedroom, I believe he's called Alex, in Brighton. He's 10 years old. He's just called to say simply hello. Alex, hello, right back to you, you lovely fella. Keep up the good work. Being 10 is one of the best things you can be in the whole world. Dear Mr. Brand, says Sylvia Williams. Mrs. A few weeks ago, I had good cause to go to bed early on a Saturday evening, so armed with a hot chocolate, a good book and medication, dirty cow, I snuggled down in my bed and turned on the radio. Imagine my reaction when I heard you and your minions, they're not minions, we're all equals, laughing, giggling and thoroughly enjoying yourselves during your broadcast. As a 58-year-old well-educated lady, oh dear, you cannot begin to know how I felt listening to you. What does that mean? I was dumbstruck, to say the least. I laughed until I cried when you sent someone off to collect a goldfish needing to be rehomed. That was some time ago. I don't know why this email's only just got through. Probably because, you know, old Sylvia, she keeps going on how old she is at 58. She probably don't know what the interweb means. But I don't think 58's that old. Run a quick list in your head of 58-year-old people that you wouldn't mind a bit of with, and you'll see it's quite long. Honor Blackman, Pele. That's just two people. Pele. Ooh,
he's
Pele. How old's Pele? I don't care how old he is because, he's
Pele. Dead.
Don't have a go at Pele, mate. He's live and kicking.
So he's probably dead. That's not having a go at him.
It is. Oh, right. It's not having a go at someone to say they're probably
you're saying
dead.
Being dead is bad, are you?
Yes, I am saying it's bad. Imagine it, lying there in a coffin, worms slithering in and out of your bot. Please.
Jesus.
Well, that's what they'll do, Matt. Worms are no respecter of the bodily orifices of the dead. They do what they fancy. That's their nature. I was dumbstruck, she says. I now make sure I go to bed at 10 p.m. every Saturday night and have even refused invites to parties, the cinema, etc., so I don't miss your show. What a breath of fresh air you are. You wouldn't say that if you was in this studio. Your laughter is infectious and should be available as a medical cure on the NHS. Please stay funny and clever and charming, just as you are today. Yours sincerely, Sylvia Williams, Monmouthshire, South Wales. P.S. Whilst visiting my sister in Southampton a fortnight ago, I noticed she had a copy of your book on her bedside table, and she is older than I. I like the older than I. You lovely, posh,
she
older
got a copy
woman.
Of your book since it's not out yet. Which obviously means the
unofficial one. The unofficial one. Wait for the proper bookie book. That'll be out soon.
Turn your phone off, Russell.
Why the hell is my phone on?
Why don't you get a new phone?
Hold on a minute. This is from Tim Lovejoy. I'm with Jack and he says you did a gig. Oh, right. Tim Lovejoy seems to be irritated that we didn't invite him to a gig. How dare he? He just called me the W word. Tim Lovejoy formerly off of Soccer AM, which he's left in a bonkers decision. Let's have a talk to him now. This is Tim Lovejoy. Hello. Lovejoy, why on earth would you send me such an offensive message? You're on Radio 2 live, Tim.
I can't hear you.
Tim Lovejoy?
Yes.
You're on Radio 2 live, are you alright?
Absolutely static, how are you?
Well, OK, thank you. What kind of life are you living, Tim?
I can't hear you.
Get rid of
Tim, we've got to go. Love you, bye! There goes Tim Lovejoy.
I can't hear you. I'm drowning in a sea of symbols.
Why would Tim Lovejoy spend his time surrounded by symbols in that fashion? Now, I really like that letter from that... I'll silence the phone. We don't want any more people troubling us. They're trying to concentrate. I will get a new phone. I don't like to be caught up in consumerism. You know me, I'm an outsider. So I like it, that lady laying in bed, because she'll be listening to us now, laying in bed.
But why does she go to bed at 10? So
She misses the first hour.
But unless she listens to it...
She's probably not even listening to this bit. I've just wasted time trying to chat up a frankly, elderly woman who couldn't care less about the first hour of our broadcast.
No, I think she probably listens to it, and then in the news, she gets her cocoa ready,
right,
and her medication, and then the next hour's all bonkers.
Oh, she drops a few little opium pills. The last hour just sails by. We've got quite a lot of things to clear up from last week. Remember, of course, that we pitched Matt Morgan's Tunnel Vision show. Matt, who is the co-host of this radio show, thinks he wants to go down tunnels and do a programme. So I called up Baz Bazalgette, who owns Endemol, or I don't know, he's in charge of it or something. I don't know the legality. And left a message, but I forgot when I did it on last week's show, I just left a message, so like going, "Hey, you've got to hear this. We've got a brilliant idea about tunnels. It's Matt Morgan. He's going to go down tunnel." And Baz Bazalgette didn't know that it was part of a radio broadcast. They just thought that I'd gone mad and left a big, long, enthusiastic message about someone that I imagine he's never heard of wanting to do a tunnel program. He was very polite about it.
He's very high up in the media.
Yeah, that's true. It's sure to have reached him. So, but then he sent back a message saying, "Well, yes, okay. Well, perhaps you'd like to speak to one of my colleagues." So we probably will call up Baz a little bit later and one of his colleagues, try and pitch this tunnel show.
It's never going to work because you haven't taken it seriously.
I am taking it seriously. I think it'd be really good fun if you had your own show about tunnels, but I really want to be in a position of vague authority so I can constantly just ruin it a little bit for you. Just ruin how it's going, the old tunnel show. Go, "Come on, Matt, you've got to do this one in leggings, luminous ones."
That. Oh. No, he said he wanted to be locked down there. We just seal this one off.
Seal him down that tunnel for a while. He said he'd like to be a mole person for a while. Who's this person drifting around here in our corridors? We are live now, so if you want to call us, you can do. We know better than to let attractive people wander into our studio. Mikey, grab that person. We've got territorial rights. Right, now remember, of course, we've got to get Gordon Brown to agree to let us do what the hell we like of our country as part of the revolution. Now, someone here has quite rightly pointed this out. The person is, what's his name? Police Academy and Revolution. Ross Girdin. Ross Girdin says, "Mr. Brandt, I've noticed over these past few weeks that your revolution, in inverted commas, seems to be comprised of 3 key elements. 1, people calling in and saying, 'Can I be in the revolution?' To which you reply, 'Yes.' 2, people suggesting that people commit a fairly innocuous deed, such as writing a message in an exam paper." I didn't suggest that, someone else suggested that.
You jumped on it.
3, you hypothesise ways of controlling the population. That's a good idea. I feel your revolution should either evolve or be ended before it stagnates and momentum is lost.
I'm so with this person.
Matt should be cautious. He is in many ways the Trotsky to your Stalin. Stalin, eh? He had all sorts of delicious power. All right, we must evolve the revolution, but the main thing is just getting a groundswell of support, Ross. I mean, I do appreciate that we have not done much political theorising. That's because mostly I'm drunk and have not really thought about how we would administrate a new global order based on egalitarianism and a lack of currency and everything. It's going to be tricky, but that don't mean we shouldn't try. Remember, I am surrounded by all sorts of dead clever people. John Rogers, for example, is a political whiz kid. He's going to help design all sorts of things. Matt is bright as a button, and G can write a poem quick as you like. So, you know, that's going to be a lovely poetic revolution.
What will happen about visitors parking?
Visitors parking. People that deny me visitors parking tickets after the revolution will, I think they should have to wear Buffalo Bills type costumes made out of skin and just sort of all do like a talent show. There's got to be some sort of embarrassing punishment for them, is what I'm basically saying. It's not going to be easy. I hate the phrase, says Smalley, I hate the phrase, pull your pants up. Ever since I took it literally a couple of years ago, much to the enjoyment of my whole class at school, says Helen Smalley. Pull your pants up.
Pull your socks up.
Pull your pants up.
You don't say pull your pants up, it's just an order. That person's got a problem. I hate that phrase.
You know, I was stood in my schoolroom with my pants down, and to tell you the truth, I'd left school several years previously, but I popped back for a visit to see how low the sinks looked. And, you know, people kept saying, pull your pants up. Yeah, that is not a maxim
people don't
or an
say
aphorism.
They say, pull your socks up.
Pull
that's your socks
it.
Up. Guts for garters.
Oh, I'll have your guts for garters. That
Disgusting.
would not look sexy, would it?
We've talked about this all before, haven't we?
No, we haven't. You always wanted to, but we never let you.
No, we did.
Right,
it was in one of your blackouts.
I hate the word feisty, says Heather, as it's only ever used to describe women and old people. Feisty. Is it feisty? Yeah, maybe it is, Heather. Maybe.
There are words that are only pointless little cul-de-sac words that are only now used in one context.
Girth. What?
Girth.
Girth. Oh, yeah, it's a winky word, isn't it? Girth. You never hear that. Yeah. Also... Romp, yeah. It was a romp in a love nest. It created a tot. There was a tot done out of a love nest because of a romp, bellowed Brand. Yeah, that's true. Like, there's tabloid sort of, the slang kind of, it is a very isolated vernacular and limited. My most hated phrase is, it's on the lips when wanting a whoopsie, says Rob of Norfolk. I've never heard that,
No one's ever
Rob.
said that, Rob.
Rob! Why have you turned our radio show into a dirty house of shame? On your lips. I'm throwing that one right away. I'm so sorry that happened. This is from Grace Bam. Hi, Russ, Matt and G. I hate the expression, keep your eyes peeled. I can't wait till I'm 18 so I can meet you, wink, wink. I actually love you, says Grace. Well, thank you very much, Grace. That's very kind of you.
And by the skin of your teeth.
Yeah, because there should not be any on it. And if there is a film of skin over your teeth, give them a rub. Rub that scum right off your gnashers. That's my advice to you. So, right, OK, we'll call up Noel Gallagher later. We'll call up some other people as well. Keep sending us these daft things. They seem to be quite interesting to me. I quite like them. Are you interested in them?
Belittle the item you just said.
I ain't belittling it.
Keep sending us these daft things.
Do what you like if you want to. Bother them all. No, yeah, do. It's good. It's working well. Russell.brand, bbc.co.uk, 88291. Because I now know that the text number is 88 to 91, like 88 to 91 FM, I find it really confusing.
Yes. You're a fascinating man.
I really am. That's why I've got this lovely show. Jeffrey Lewis, the East River, Russell Brand, Radio 2. We're live tonight, so give us a bell if you want. Do you like, really? I like that song that called Jeffrey Lewis. I like him. He's nice and he's melodic. He's a sort of modern folk singer type of fella. But the hardest lad in my year, well, it was either, the opinion was divided. Some said it was Jamie Dawkins, others said it was Jeff Lewis. So,
you think you live in the past slightly?
No, I don't.
Here's a song from Fat Sam, the musical. Now on to news now. Who's the hardest kid in my school?
Well, a lot of people say it's Jamie Dawkins because of his superior
GCSE results out on Monday. Fingers crossed, everyone.
OK, could go either way. But I mean, I did well on the coursework, but the exams, that's where the real pressure starts. Hi, Russell. Dan here, listening and suffering in the heat near Alicante, Spain. Nice show. Thanks, Dan.
Well read.
Well, listen, I read what was there, mate.
Stop. Hello, stop.
What is all this stop? Hi, Russell and Matt. I hate the phrase push the envelope. I don't get it. Well, I think what it is like, say you'd wrote a letter to someone going, F you, I'm going to kill you, or something like that, and then you sort of pushed it through their letterbox.
Through one of your neighbours' letterboxes.
Maybe, give me my parking permit.
F you.
Or you might find a lot of little nappies on your doorstep. You might find your cat gets his tummy shaved. Oh, well, why not? You could see its nipples. Right, so the push the envelope means you push a letter with some sort of expletives and threats, and you let it nearly through the letterbox. You push that envelope, and then you think,
Russell,
oh God, that is it. Push the envelope. No. What do you think it is?
It's probably something to do with
that. Push the envelope. You push the envelope as far as you can without actually letting go of the envelope, because once you've let go of the envelope, then the thing is posted.
Is this what you think?
No, this is actually the truth.
How
the objective
do you know
truth.
This?
Because a guy came down from a crowd, he called himself McJesus. He said, go spread my magic word, I think you'll find it'll please us. He said, you too, girl, be like me, to send my message, set the people free. All that stuff and crosses and that, be like me, McJesus.
There you go. So don't send your children to drama school.
Send them along, missus, because they'll come back bright as buttons and twice as obnoxious as
the envelope.
That's what it means. Prove right. Other people in world, back me on this rhubarb. Back me right up. Cheers, says Emma anyway. Come on, Russell. What time is the revolution kicking off? I've been sat with my coat on for ages. Ed, P.S. do you want me to make some sandwiches? We do the revolution, we've got a bit more power. We need a lot of ground, because it's going to be hard.
People are starting to mock your revolution because it hasn't gone anywhere.
I tell you what, it has done, because we've got a lovely groundswell movement. People are interested. It's going to be difficult, Max. We're going to have to do...
Anoraks and sandwiches.
It's a global revolution. We're going to have to overthrow the American government. We're going to have to disband the CIA. We're going to have to get rid of Islam. There's a lot to be done. So, it's going to be quite tricky. So let's not push it yet till we're absolutely sure we've got enough people for a right big fight with everyone else in the world. It even says in the Bible, 50% of people, they're finished. I really hate...
What are you going on about?
Revolution. This is from Chrissy. I really hate act your age and not your shoe size. It annoys me so much. Well, yeah, especially now shoe size has gone all Euro and it's like 43.
Oh, yeah, I'm 42 or something.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It makes it very tricky.
Harry Potter. Harry Potter. Harry Potter.
Why are you all excited about it? Just a little wizard.
Anyone that you could... I bet you'll be in one of them films.
Will be.
Is that the last film now?
No, there better be another one for me.
Harry Potter.
Hi,
That's what you've got to do now to be a British actor.
Just go Harry Potter. That's all that's required.
Go on, do your best one. No, but really try.
Right, this is...
But don't do it into the microphone because it hurts a bit.
Okay.
Harry Potter.
No, that was disturbing.
No, it wasn't. That's like, imagine, like...
It's like the man in Goonies who's chained up.
Imagine Dumbledore. Now, he's probably gone past something large. Chris says, my simple girlfriend is sitting on the sofa reading the new Harry Potter book and half listening to the radio. Focus, woman! She perked up a bit when Tim Lovejoy was mentioned. She makes me watch him on Sunday mornings, but then she got confused when he failed to produce any real words during the phone call. He done well, though. He got some sounds out, and that might be another language in the parallel universe. Despite several attempts to tell her otherwise, she won't believe me. Perhaps you can read this out to let her know otherwise. Hang on, don't bother. She's made me turn you off. Too distracting while she's reading that wizardry tosh. I suppose you could read this out and I could get her to listen to the podcast, but then you'd be recorded and she'd be correct. You idiot! You've just led me into that madness, Chris. I should read emails out first, shouldn't I? I should check them. Rhubarb. Dear Russ, Matt, G and Mikey, as you may or may not know, says Rob Steer, the new Harry Potter book came out today. I was wondering if you knew which main character died and how they died. We don't care about stuff like that, I don't think, do we? About Harry Potter and...
but...
I just don't... It's not registered with me. I've seen all them films and I just think...
If I'd have said yes, would you have gone, yeah, we do?
I would have, yeah. I'd have just gone with whatever. I don't, it's not something I feel passionate about. I've seen the films, fair enough. All right, that lad seems quite nice. I like the ginger lad a lot. I think he seems good. What game?
Broomsticks.
That's called Quidditch. I know that much.
And which platform do you have to leave from?
Well, 9.5. Wow, or 3/4.
You know everything about it.
Because they put it at King's Cross and I saw people taking photos of it. I was there trying to get myself just a nice girl and a lovely evening.
Rushing with cameras and you went, oh, here we go again. What's a bore?
Here we go. Hello, guys. It's Captain Show Business. It's going to be one hell of a night. Where are you going? Come back here.
A plaque.
That's just a plaque, you silly ass. Come back here. Can a plaque do this sort of a dance or sing this kind of song tomorrow? But, you know, the plaque did win. Hello, Russell and Chum, says Andrew.
Minions.
Well, listen, mate, people are just trying to save time. Tunnels. I used to work in an insurance company and a frequent phrase was suck it and see. I guess it was meant to mean let's try this for now and see what happens, but I could never quite work out what one might suck to see what it's like. Well, you could suck anything, couldn't you, really, you know? But I think it comes from an advert, yeah. Suck it and see. Hello, darling. The word gastronomic is unappetising, especially as it appears in Henry VIII-style restaurant reviews, or worse, gastropubs. Yeah, good point, good point.
And it's gastroenteritis or whatever that thing's called.
Yeah. Tell it to the judge, wise ass. This is from Nikki. Well, I'm just arguing. She says, looking forward to seeing you on Thursday in the Isle of Man. Is Matt coming with you? Matt, you coming to the Isle of Man?
No.
G, coming to the Isle of Man? You're meant to be the support act. You better come. So listen to this. When you get to the Isle of Man in your car going to Douglas, ask your driver to tell you where the ferry bridge is. When you get there, make sure you say hello ferry to them and they'll keep you safe. Also, when you're doing your show, make sure you don't say the word rat or the plural of it as it's classed as bad luck. She's also capitalised rat in this. It's classed as bad luck in the Isle of Man. If you say it, you have to whistle or touch wood. Some people stand up and turn round as well. You'll probably find most of the audience will whistle if you say it. We call them long tails and spell the word. Wow.
I don't think you should go there.
That's a bit mad, isn't it?
Sounds like they're living in Harry Potter.
They are living in Harry Potter.
Don't say the word rats. Go to a bridge and greet the fairies. If you want disrespectful to the fairies, then the rat prince will rise up. Then you must drink the milk of the rat.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm looking forward to going to the Isle of Man.
They're all superstitious.
Yeah, but that's all right, isn't it? Everything's a superstition, really.
Has come to the island. He has queer hair.
They might make me their king. I think it's going to be nice.
And you'll be standing on that fairy bridge, preaching to the masses.
Of course I will.
That's where you could have a revolution, on the Isle of Man.
Start it on the Isle of Man first.
And then have that,
Have that as a principality. It's already got its own laws and tax breaks and stuff. I think Jeremy Clarkson lives there, and perhaps even Nigel Mansell. I think so. I think there's a couple of people there for tax breaks. I don't know.
Any speed up.
It's got no speed limits. That's one of the things they're into.
Oh,
no speed limits.
Big head,
don't pick your nose, you dirty devil.
I didn't. I scratched the inside of my nostril.
I've heard it. I hate the phrase "come up trumps," says Cool. All right. No, Steve. I hate the phrase "come up trumps." It sounds like a sexual reference. Saw you in Aintree and had an amazing laugh. Fair enough. Thank you very much, Steve. Yeah, come up trumps. Does sound a bit sore. Yeah. Oh, you've come up trumps this time. I thought you was going to let me down. I thought you was going to do the dirty on me, but you've really come up trumps. Do the dirty? I shouldn't bloody well think so. Here's Noel Gallagher ringing back. I tried to ring him just now. He never answered. Let's see if here he is now. Look. No. No. Yeah. Well, how come you leave a pause before you speak when you answer the phone?
I don't know.
Well, you mustn't, dear, because it comes across like you're some sort of timid little fella. Nothing really, just wanted to talk to you on the radio, which is what I'm doing right now without even getting your permission, man. Can we call you back in a second?
Yeah.
All right. Don't sound so surly. People look up to you.
I'm bored.
Right. Love you, see you in a bit. There it goes.
I'm bored.
I'm bored. How dare he say that? He makes us sit for all his tripe, doesn't he?
Yes.
Claptrap with from, well, you know, Noel Gallagher. I read about your parking hassles, says Kathy in West Hampstead. Why didn't you buy a house with a driveway? Don't know, really. I just like that one. Just, you know, I just panicked. I just panic bought an house. You mustn't panic buy. Never panic buy. Even if society looks like it's going to crumble, which inevitably one day it must, because we was worrying about it the other day, actually. Was thinking, what if electricity gets, like, one day we just run out of electricity, right? Everything will go mental, won't it? After about 2 days, everyone will just be robbing Sainsbury's. Other supermarkets are available. It's a house of cards we're living in. We're living in a house of cards. We're just deprived of a few basic things. We'll all go loopy. We'll all be back to behaving like animals, which is why it's very important, tap, tap, tappity, tap, 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 to get this revolution all right, nice and tight. Why is Noel Gallagher acting so cool? He rang me back then. Who rings back and acts that cool while doing a ring back? Yeah, all right. I'm bored. Don't ring back then. You know, surly way to carry on. I'll ring him back in a minute and pray to God he wasn't listening to that arrogant little outburst from me. So anyway, here's this thing. Listen to this, right, everyone. I've got this website here. It's Number 10's website. Now, let's start hassling them now. You don't think I'm doing enough about this revolution. Well, let's move it up a little gear by getting me a bit of FaceTime. Yeah, there's a phrase you might not like. With Golden Brown.
Bit of FaceTime?
Bit of FaceTime with him. Yeah, FaceTime.
What does that mean? Have you made that up?
FaceTime means, I think the people in America say, hey, let's get some FaceTime later on in the week. I mean, uh-oh, he's ringing back. He's heard it. Oh, no. Hello? No? What?
You were saying?
Yeah. So I'm just saying that how much I love you, and I think, do you know what? This is all your...
No, you were.
I was just saying it. I was saying it down the radio. I was just going down the radio. Oh, and he good, though. And he brill. Noel Gallagher, I was saying. Why are you so sulky? Are you back on a Persian rug? You're talking like Bugs Bunny. You just went... What are you going to say next? What's up, Doc?
Well, don't psych me off, man. Ring me back in 11 and you've got something decent to say.
All right, talk to you in a minute. Quite like, no wonder Liam's got the attitude he has with him as a big brother. It'd get on your nerves, wouldn't it? Someone judging him all the time. Oh no, I've done it again. Well, we'll just ring him when we can hear him properly. Right, so what we can do on this website, www.number-10.gov.uk, that's www.number-10, and 10 as a number, .gov.uk. So
Gov is the beginning of government, not...
Yeah.
All right, Gov.
Oh, well, Gav!
You're the governor of the country, ain't you?
Yeah, I see you're the gaffer of this country. Why don't you pull your finger out, mush? Hey? Yeah, number-10.gov.uk. All right?
And that's technology, that's advancement.
Yeah,
making
what do you
people
mean?
speak like that.
Yeah. Yeah, we're all carrying on like robots already. So send, right, and if you go on there, then you can see you can see, like, get details to send an email to him. Now, let's really bother him to get me this interview with him, because I think we've got to get jump through a few more loopholes, and there's things about due partiality, which would mean I'd have to do David Cameron and all, and a few other people. But let's get this thing with Gordon Brown. Once we're in the room, you can tell me what to say to him. We can start to build this revolution. Or alternatively, I could just jump on his lap and give him such a snog that no one will trust him anymore, because I think, oh, do you remember that time he snogged that fella? And they'll just think, yeah, we can't have him in charge. And I properly will snog him one. Do you know, if that's what's required for the...
Why don't you write some questions?
I'll write some. I'm not writing questions,
I'll
mate.
snog him. That's what I'll do. And I'll write on his head in felt tip and run off.
Here, brownie points. What you going to do about it? And then off I'll go. Right, so we're going to be talking... So there's that thing, www.number-10.gov.uk. Go on there, say, we demand you do this interview with Russell Brand. You'll simply must do it. Otherwise, we're going to go out on the streets, kick over bins,
I hope he
do
interviews
blow-offs.
you. I hope
Why?
he gets out a big list of things and goes, right, build this revolution.
Yeah, go on in, Brownie. What do you want to know, son?
He will go, well, come on.
Come on, what? See, I've already
What's
got
your
him on the
policy on
ropes.
population control?
Just
ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous. It's a simple
What's your
injection.
policy?
Every male has had one child. Simple injection, no more children. We get rid of the idea of family. We're all one big family unit. We get rid of the idea of nation state, the idea of currency. But it might require cataclysm, which will come about anyway because we're going to run out of electricity. There's great big floods. Then people will be looking for a new system rather than living in this outmoded, unequal, unfair system. So, it's all there, mates. I've got him. I've got old brownie points on the road.
You're going to blow his mind.
He's got no charisma. He hasn't had a chance. Right, okay, so why don't we have a little listen? What do you want to put on Rage Against the Machine? Is that what you want to listen to?
I think it's the news now, actually.
News? Those guys? We can't trust them. They're part of the system. No. Let's not go to them. Let's stay. Well, they can't go to news because it ain't news o'clock. News happens
1 minute
on the
to
hour.
news o'clock.
1 minute to news o'clock. Okay. Well, here's some interesting information from Guido. He goes, the envelope is the limit of parameters in given mathematical environment, commonly used to provide safety limits for the likes of astronauts, test pilots and fly-halves. To push the envelope is to test such limits. Oh, so it's just what envelope
surprise.
is only one use for it.
It's holding onto an envelope what you've written.
Hold on a minute, it's another email.
And then you push the swear words for a box.
Guido is an evil liar working for the government. Don't trust nothing he says ever. Guido, to think we trusted you. Here's another email. That thing what you just said, Russell, is all true. About that envelope, remember when you said that? Yep. Well, that was word for word, verbatim what it actually is.
Pull your
Pushing
t-shirt
the
up,
envelope
please?
through a letterbox, then
pull
letting
your
go
t-shirt
at the
up,
last
please?
minute. Love from me, the Collins, the writer of the dictionary.
Pull your
I
t-shirt
love
up.
you very much. I will not pull my
Nipples
t-shirt
are
up.
hanging out.
Of course they are. That's keeping you fruity during the
Some
show.
drunken old auntie.
Here, Matt. Here, I'll tell you what you want for your birthday. Give us a nip slip. Give us a nip slip on your lipstick. We've got a certain someone on the telephone, a very special man. His name is Nolan. Yeah. Keep on Nolan. Yeah. No?
Yeah.
Hello, mate. How are you?
I'm brilliant. How are you?
Oh, he's so enthusiastic about life. Look at that joie de vivre. Oh, the joie de vivre of the man. While you were waiting on the phone, how come we could hear you going to your missus, Sarah, turn it down a bit, turn it down a bit. What were you saying, turn down?
Are you
Wearing some little love eggs inside you in your special pocket? Have you got some love eggs in your back pocket?
The radio.
Turn it down a bit, Sarah. It's itching. Just turn down the radio. Is that what it was?
What are you laughing at?
You wearing love eggs up your back pocket.
What are you talking about?
Love eggs. You can get remote-controlled love eggs that someone can wear in a special place, and then another person can remote control it. So you could be out at a do, right? Sarah could be the other side of the bar.
Right, and you think
Yeah.
that Gordon Brown is going to give you the time of day?
Yes, he is. www.number-10.gov.uk. That's all,
There's
Brownie.
more chance you have an audience with our kids.
He wants to come round. Last time I spoke to him on your phone, when you were at as usual, at some drunken children's party, he said he was coming round in the most terrifying and frank terms, only having earlier on that day betrayed you a Monkhouse. Not Monkhouse, Phil Collins. I do get confused.
He did, didn't he? Yeah.
Tell us about that. Tell us what happened. Something happened at Live Earth now. Come on, Noel.
Oh, we got collared by Phil Collins' kids saying to Liam, why have you got a problem with my dad? Liam said, it's not me, it's our kid, but he's not here, kind of thing. Well, the way Liam tells it's very funny, you see.
Well, he just completely palmed them off onto you.
Yeah, but that was a long time ago where we was always slagging Phil Collins off. That was the 90s, man.
Oh, they were crazy days. Slagging off Phil Collins.
Some of us.
Britpop.
They're not for you.
No, I was just hovering around being poor.
You were probably on some dirty protest in King's Cross in some crack house.
You didn't need to do a dirty protest. They already poo up the walls. No one would have noticed, to tell you the truth. They'd have just thought you were decorating in the conventional fashion. How have you been?
Get sick of this weather, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a bit of a nuisance, isn't it? Do you think it is a biblical punishment from the Almighty?
No, I don't believe in the Almighty.
Uh-oh, there he is. He's attacking God again. Noel Gallagher on Noel's controversial corner. There is no God. That's his first view of the day.
Well, there's no proof that there is, though, is there, to be honest?
Well, I suppose not, except for the magical gift of life.
The magical gift of life?
Yeah.
No, that doesn't come from God, though, does it?
You think that's just an evolutionary necessity? Well, I don't know. I think
of course it is.
Yeah, but like when you see a dead person, right? Look how different they look. Awful, most of them. But like, living people, they've got that magical spark. Now, what is that divinity?
Really? Do they?
Well, most people, yeah.
I don't think so.
Come on, Noel. You're not a cynical man.
There's some people who don't deserve life, isn't there? You know what I mean? They're just walking vessels.
Don't say that. Everyone's lovely. Everyone deserves the gift of life.
A lot of work for me, as a matter of fact.
Oh, really?
Well, roadies and that, you know what I mean?
Roadies don't deserve life. Scandal.
I didn't say that. I said roadies are kind of walking vessels.
So. Walking vessel? What for? For your love eggs?
Honestly, that's not even funny. That's not even funny.
Well, I tell you what, we're all having a jolly good chuckle.
No, you are. And Matt's kind of nervously laughing because he knows it's not funny. But he's
nervous.
He thought of it.
No, I said it first.
He said it first. He goes, Russell, say Noel's got love eggs. And then he retired to a safe distance and cuddled up a copy of Definitely Maybe.
Matt's brain, then it must be funny.
Oh, righty. Oh, that's the way you want to play it, yeah? Cause a bit divide and conquer, is it? Yeah, listen to what I heard the other day. My mate, John Rogers, said he was at some sort of legendary gig you done, I think, a really early Oasis gig, I think, at the Forum. Apparently he was there with his friend. The two of them got separated. There was a lot of hype about Oasis, but only a couple of singles had been released. No album as yet. Everyone was talking about, are they going to be any good, this band? They've got a lot of mouth, a lot of front. Then everyone went to this gig, this legendary gig. Like my mate and his mate got separated from each other, then found each other sort of like midway through the gig. My mate John Rogers goes, my God, they're amazing, aren't they? They're the best band since the Smiths. And then his mate went, since the Beatles. And it was like a lot of hoopla going on about Oasis. Mad, because I was probably just, I don't know, I wouldn't have been going to gigs. I was probably, I don't know, a little bit too young to go to gigs on my own.
No, you would have been freebasing cocaine with baking powder.
Freebasing Smarties at that age.
You wouldn't have been too young for gigs.
I wasn't really that kind of a person. I sort of went from being a child to a drug addict.
He was at shows.
Okay, I was a West Side Story. These chitty bang bang. I like this child catcher. I like the way he dresses. I like the way he behaves. There's something in this. Yeah, so there you are, Noel. That is, for a start, a nice anecdote to tell you about your early life, because sometimes I forget about that, except that time. I forget, of course, because you just come on that radio show, and in fact, Noel said the other day that someone came up to him and goes, oh, you're Noel Gallagher. I really like you on Russell Brand's radio show.
Yeah, it was Geordie as well. He said, what did he say? Oh, no, there's twice, actually. I was in Ibiza, like, 2 weeks ago, and we was getting on the phone, and some girl said, she turned out and she said, you know what's really weird? This complete random strange, and I'm like, oh, I don't know what. And she said, I've been listening to you on Russell Brand's radio show on the beach, and here you are.
There you are, see? Not listening. Yeah. I think when you die, Noel, it will say, Russell Brand co-host kicks the bucket. People mildly pleased.
Do you think me and Gordon Brown will be high-fiving when you die?
Oh, well, that's a nasty perspective, especially from an atheist. So,
not an atheist.
What you just... Well, hold on. You said you don't believe in God, Noel. Now, I don't.
No, I don't, but that doesn't make me an atheist.
Well, I think it does. I don't want to get bogged down with semantics. What does it make you?
Don't label me. You can't label me just because I'm not. I don't belong to any group of like, you know.
Well, you do. There's Oasis for a start. you're vital to Oasis. That's just one group you're a part of. Then there's a group called...
That's an exclusive.
Curmudgeons.
He has gone solo.
He has gone solo here and now. You went, I'm not a member of any group.
I've done solo gigs before.
You'll be going electric next. So, yeah, listen to this, Noel. It's about the revolution. Hello, everyone. Maybe you should base the revolution principles...
So pretentious.
It's not pretentious.
So pretentious.
How dare you? How dare you? Well, you done that black and white video about an undertaker.
Going to give you the time of day, the way you dress. That's number one. Right, that's for starters.
What are you doing with your phone? Is one of your love eggs popped?
And all that, right? Carry on.
People will give me the time of day. Listen, what will happen? I'll move out of this phase of my career of being a lovable nitwit, and we'll move on to doing things a lot more seriously. And when people go, "Oh God, he did always go on about the revolution in a frivolous, childish way," and now all of a sudden he's marching about, look, with no trousers and pants on. He's really made a huge step there. Look, this lad called Tyrone McCarthy says, "Base our revolution on the principles of Levian's Satanism, pentagonal revisionism. The 5-point plan could work like this: it breaks breaks down thusly. Stratification. I don't know what that means. What is stratification?
Stratify means breaking things into different groups.
Stratify them. Okay, nice.
Layers.
Stratify things. Number 2, strict taxation of all churches. Good. We can do that. That's easy. No tolerance for religious beliefs secularised and incorporated into law and order issues.
Hasn't he just said Satanism?
I think he has.
Belief.
And also, we've got to tax churches. And if we're not going to tolerate religious beliefs, the churches won't be there. Oh, Tyrone, I really had high hopes for you and your policies.
We got muddled up in Satanism for a bit, didn't we?
Me and Matt, Noel, for a brief time, got caught up in Satanism.
Can I just interject here?
No, our friends ended up in jail.
It's no surprise that neither of you two have girlfriends. Or Tyrone, for that matter, probably.
Really? Me and Matt are all right, couple of ladies' men. You should see us.
You haven't got steady girlfriends, though, have you?
Because we're steady lover machines. We're living a life of luxury. You should see us. We're dressed like people in Miami Vice. We've got girlfriends from Cuba. We're living the vida loca. We're like a couple of regular Ricky Martins. Every day's like Sunday. Look at us. Well, why? What do you mean? Why? No. What do you think is a great achievement that you've got your regular girlfriend? That poor woman, not a day goes by when she don't lustfully look at a postcard of me and think, why?
She told me to tell you not to mention her anymore on your radio phone.
Really? Why? In what?
She gets embarrassed. Do you get embarrassed?
This must be great for her then, bringing up the actual nub of the embarrassment itself. Why is she embarrassed for? Doesn't she look nice, all pregnant? 7 months pregnant she is now.
She does. She looks beautiful.
She does. You're a very lucky man, and it won't last.
Do you know why that is? Because I don't go on about the revolution all the time and all that, man. Received letters from people called Tyrone from Coronation Street.
I don't think he's from Coronation.
The Beatles talked about revolution quite a bit.
You say you wanna. Revolution was one of their records they done.
Well, and look what happened to him.
That's true. That didn't work out at all well. Good point.
Anyway, you put it into a song. Can you sing about the revolution?
Because you've heard my record, number 64.
Does it sound like that?
Yeah.
It is truly dreadful.
Guess what, everyone? Yeah, I'm going to let do a little tear. I can cry out of every hole in my body if it'll bring a revolution. Right, at my live gigs, people have been saying, do that song. An awful lot. People like it, Noel, so
no, they don't necessarily like it.
And maybe they don't. Maybe this is a great big national wind-up.
Like
what happened to Rick Waller.
Comedy gigs then, yeah?
Yeah, comedy gigs, yeah, where I do the comedy.
Will you work it out then, eh?
Oh, yeah, all right, Sarky Mark and the Funky Bunch. Right? So actually, yeah, I might be. When they're doing that at my comedy gigs, I'm sort of like Rick Waller. And everyone's thinking, fuck it, get Russell to do that song again. You know how we was all going to vote for Rick Waller to win Pop Idol? And they thought, oh, no, Pop Idol's been ruined. Rick, you've got a sore throat, all right? Now do one.
That's quite a controversial opinion.
What I just said then was a controversial opinion, and I take it right back. I only said it because Noel Gallagher, made me do it with a love egg that he's popped privately into one of my many inside wallets. I apologise on behalf of everyone who I just offended and all that sort of
Who did you just offend? I missed that one.
Well, I accidentally said there was no such thing as Christianity and everyone was proper bonkers who believed in it. But then I took it back. Yep, I just said it, Noel. While you was fidgeting around with your underpant party, some world-class jokes was being done. Proper smashers they were. So,
right. Wow.
Well, anyway, I'm thinking about getting into a nice, serious relationship, as a matter of fact, and
I'm kind of
with each other. And we were thinking of coming round and come on, let's have a nice get together. You, your missus, me, Matt, and anyone we might choose to bring along.
Yeah, well, this seems to be the stumbling block with Sarah. You see, It's not you two as such; it's the and others that probably would accompany you.
I was thinking of bringing Julie Goodyear. I don't know who Matt's thinking. Toya.
Yeah, but after what you were telling me on the phone the other day, I don't know whether that's kind of acceptable, really, to be honest.
Certainly not on good old Radio 2, lovely old auntie. So yeah, let's not.
No, I wouldn't let her think that would be going on immediately after we'd been out, and had some.
Or perhaps during while we was out, if any of us popped to the lavvy.
That would be amazing because, I'd just get the camera phone out.
I was just telling Noel recently of some monkey business, that's all. Not with actual monkeys, that would be unkind.
Well,
but, monkey business in the sixth sense. There's a quiet dignity about the chimpanzee. Oh dear, oh dear. What a terrible thing to have said. Yeah, let's read another email to move things on a bit. Hello.
Hang on a minute, am I going to be on for the rest of the night now?
Yeah, just leave him there.
Just stay there. What are you going to do?
You seem like you've not got much material for tonight's show.
Just get Noel Gallagher on, for Christ's sake, waiting for him to blaspheme. It might give us an evening. Why, do you want to go?
No, I'm right, mate. No, stop.
Right, here's another email. It's from Sophie. Hello, Russ, Matt, G, and that fella that you have on the show from the north. Please,
can you...
Can you read this out? As me and my boyfriend are meant to be packing to go to Turkey tomorrow, but my boyfriend Colin is sitting on the bed listening to you.
Oh, it's a powder keg, isn't it?
It's a powder keg! It's a powder keg!
Powder keg.
What is a powder keg? Turkey, or that dynamic? Why? What's going on in Turkey?
It's wrong, isn't it?
Why? I think it's nice, isn't it? Nice place for holiday. I went to Istanbul once. Men held hands. I liked it.
I went there
Too
once.
hot.
What? Was too hot?
Yeah. Not seen the news? It's about 40-odd degrees over there,
Oh, my God. Be careful on your holiday. Colin, Sophie, think again. Colin's on the bed listening to you lot. He was quite focused until I started trying on my new bikinis I bought earlier today, and now he's laying there all confused. All he's packed is his green T-shirt, which he won't need. I'm worried he'll have just that T-shirt on holiday and have no pants. Could you please tell him to hurry up, please? Thank you. Yes, well, we've done it. Get a move on. You're upsetting Noel Gallagher.
Although he doesn't need to take too much because it's so hot.
Upsetting me.
Just take some pants. Just why don't you wear like a Pearly Kings and Queen outfit and just take that to Istanbul? Just jostle about like a Pearly King or Queen. Just pretend you're like a sort of a mannequin that's come to life. You're just looking for a love affair. It'll keep you cheerful. This is someone's called Sarah's written this. I'm listening to you in Switzerland while I do my translations on Saturday night. I just thought you might be interested to know, as you are the sexiest vegetarian in the UK. Yes, I am. Why are you laughing at that, Noel?
That was a love egg falling out.
Sounds
like a big one.
No, them love eggs are meant to be tiny things. They're like the great big Cadbury's Easter eggs you've got. They're like beach balls. Did you have a nice time in Ibiza? Blimey.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, it's great, yeah.
He's laughing, isn't he? Listen, right, so anyway, why don't you, sexiest vegetarian, talk people into saving the planet? Spencer Tannick, that bloke who does pictures of huge groups of naked people, is here in Switzerland taking a photo on the top of a glacier next weekend. Do you want to come? You can come there. I reckon Tannick would be happy. Blah, blah, blah. It will raise awareness of climate change, etc. That's from Sarah.
You've done that before, haven't you?
I have done a Spencer Tannick photograph, actually, with, me and my mate went down there, down by the Cutty Ark, before it all got burned down. Some say there is a connection because there was a lot of sexiness in the air that day. And tell you the truth, it was interesting being around with all those naked people. After a while, nudity becomes sort of innocuous and loses its potency. What do you think of the art of Tannick Noli? You know, all the
art of what? The art of what? Sorry?
Spencer Tannick, that bloke who takes pictures of loads of nude people stood around. You must have seen it.
Yeah, no, I've seen it. Well, you know, whatever. I don't know, I'm not into art.
You're not into art? Ain't you got no art down your house then?
I have.
What? What sort of art? Yeah,
what kind of art? Oh,
yeah.
Pop art, really.
Pop art?
Yeah.
Olives, it's disgusting, Peyton. I'm up on Noel Gallagher's wall.
Oh dear.
Did I say Popeye? Or did I say pop art?
I think you said pop art, but I saw an opportunity and I jumped right in before you crammed it with a love egg.
Yeah. You idiot, man. You idiot.
Yeah, the lady that does the news just walked past. She's.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good job, Tara.
Good job, love. Yeah, love the news. Nice news, darling.
I can see why you'd be into going around standing around naked with other naked people.
Yeah, I could. I mean, it was nice. I enjoyed it.
Weren't you cut out of the original, of the end piece?
Yeah, they said it was embarrassing. They said there shouldn't be any of that
going on. It was just a blur where he was. Just jumping up and down.
I was frantic.
Spencer!
Fingers weren't where they should have been.
They said it's not meant to be sexual. It's about the innocent nature of nudity, not a clammy-handed man groping at strangers. They said it was against the whole spirit of the piece, they said. Yeah, Noel, have you got any phrases that you dislike? For example, listen to this. Jack Torson from Chislehurst goes, I hate it when people say they're blitzed. They say they blitzed something because it doesn't reflect the inherently destructive aspect of blitzkrieg or the horrific bombing of the East End of London. Because when people say they blitzed their bedroom, they don't mean that they bombed it or anything like that. So it is a misuse of language. Good point. Yes, it doesn't mean that. News lady's looking at us she's quite intimidating. Yeah, news lady, come in here. Oh, here comes news lady. No, and listeners, news lady is in. Let's not upset news lady. Hello, news lady.
Hello.
What's your real name?
Susan.
Hello, Susan. I must say, Noel Gallagher's on the line. We're all saying you did a smashing job of the news.
Yeah, I hated being called that woman. That was like, I didn't
Did you?
That.
You thought it was offensive?
I've got a phrase.
What is your phrase? That you don't like? A linguistic tick
Conditional discharge.
Conditional discharge.
Or even worse, unconditional discharge.
Yeah.
Which implies...
You smell lovely.
Really flowing.
You smell of refreshers.
Thank you.
You know refreshers, them sweets you have when you're a kid. It's your lip gloss.
Yeah. I'll just talk to Noel then.
No, don't, because we've got to do the radio show. Hello there, Newsy Poos. You're sexy. Yeah. Will you make
worse than this lady, that lady.
That
Newsy Poos.
Newsy Poos, yeah.
I think Newsy Poos and Toots are the most respectful phrases that we can use.
I won't be allowed to say that next time, though.
What?
I won't be able to say this is the news with Newsy Poos.
Oh, go on.
No, I'm not
Get it
allowed.
on. Can you sneak
BBC new editorial guidelines.
Them guidelines are a load of old guff. They're only guidelines anyway. You don't have to listen to them to the letter. Why don't you, during the news, sneak in thing, there's been a coup, Russell Brand's now in charge of everything. and then just the news can just change into that bum bum dum 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 bum bum, that music from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It'll be funny.
When did you get that jingle?
All right, go and get it. Bye. See you later, Newsy.
Bye-bye.
Here, I've got some news for you. You're sexy. There she goes. That's the damn finest newsreader I've ever clapped eyes on. And clap being the operative words. Oof! Got some of that. God, dear.
You yobbo.
I am not a yobbo. I know 11 things. Here they are. Well, Noel, it's been a lovely interjection from you. Have you got anything controversial to say before we stick on a record? Which we
Not really, no.
We're going to play Super Freak, Super Freak. That's what we're going to put on. Rick James, Super Freak, because we like it. There's a bit in that film, Little Miss Sunshine.
Rubbish. Utter rubbish.
No, you're very cynical.
Or you can have that song you just mentioned.
What song that I just mentioned?
Bolt.
Bolt. Yeah, let's stick that on.
Stop squeezing your boobs.
I will not stop squeezing my boobs. If Noel Gallagher can have love's eggs in him, love's eggs, they're the product of love, then I can squeeze my boobies during the broadcast.
Puts me right off.
No, it doesn't. What puts you off? Newsy Poos. I love that lady. So, Noel, is there any... Perhaps you might want a request for later.
What a tune.
Yeah, perhaps you might want to dedicate something to your missus.
You want a request for tune?
Oh, look at their domestic life, like
She
the Bacon
quite like
family.
the idea of the Ferris Bueller one.
Oh, we're going to play it, right? This is going out to you, Sarah McDonald, for all the things you've tolerated. You staying with us, Noel, or are you going? It's up to you. You're in charge of your own life.
I'm going to go.
All right, stay listening to the show. Noel Gallagher, thank you very much. This
Bye-bye.
is for you and
See
Sarah.
you later, mate.
Bye, love you, Noel. Bye. This is meant to be that one where it goes, dum, 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 dum,
No, I'm thinking
dum.
of bolt.
Yeah, I'm thinking of that. That ain't that. Mikey,
That's
Nick,
quite nice,
producer
though,
of the
that.
show. Yeah, it's fine. But it ain't... Yeah, but I want the one that goes, that. This didn't go... Didn't do that noise, did it?
You really brought it to life. I mean, do we need to hear it still?
Probably not, because I think you'll find that my When I'm 64 edit of it is more than sufficient. So,
Do it in that style.
I find it very, very moving, I must say. It's
Do an
very
Oasis
touching.
song in that voice.
Oh, we dreams are made. Right, now, hold on, we've got to do some important, jolly old stuff, and that is Matt Gibbs, that thing about the Chuckle Brothers. I love that thing. It's well funny. Who's Sarah Rams? Oh, no. Oh, okay. All right. In a minute, we're going to tell you something interesting about the Chuckle Brothers. But before that, right, now, you may remember that last week we called up Baz Bazalgette to pitch a show about tunnels that Matt Morgan is going to host. Baz Bazalgette is the owner, or, I don't know, CEO, boss of Endemol. We pitched it to him, didn't tell him that we were live on radio. He now thinks I'm mad. I've had a few more chats with him. He's given me the number of the person that we should have spoke to, Sarah Ramsden, who must be high up at Endemol or Bazalgette Productions or something like that. And we've now got the opportunity to pitch Matt's tunnel shows. Thank you for all your emails about the tunnel show. It's captured the imagination of the nation. It really has. And we're going to talk to Sarah Ramsden now to see if we can get her to back our bonkers show where Matt goes down tunnels. Sarah, are you there, dear?
I am, Russell. How are you?
I'm ever so well. Did Baz talk to you about this project?
He hasn't, no. I don't know anything about it at all. I've just been rung 5 minutes ago and told someone's going to pitch to me, and I know nothing about it.
OK. Well, we're going to do some pitching now. Prepare yourself for some of the best best pitching you'll have ever had in your life, because we are bloody good pitchers. So, anyway, what we want to do is a programme what's about tunnels. My mate Matt, who does this show with me, he's going to go down tunnels, investigate them. Different tunnels, catacombs, networks, subterranean environments all over the globe, perhaps just in England, depending on the budgetary restraints. We think we'd pitch it for BBC 4, Discovery Channel, that sort of like intellectual kind of speciality channel. Matt is a fine piece of talent. He's got a growing fan base in this country, and as you know, Baz himself, isn't he the great-grandson of someone who designed a sewer system?
Yeah, his great-great-great-grandfather or something made London not stink of poo.
Well, there we go there. So we've got him to thank for London not stinking of poo in all of the areas. There are some bits that still are a bit dodgy, aren't they? But we could get Matt down in that sewer. That'd be nice for old Basil Jet.
I'm willing to go down there.
Matt's so interested in tunnels, he'll romp around in Whoopsie. So this tunnel programme, I think we can probably make it for between 30 and 70 grand per episode.
Oh, that's a bit cheap. You want to pitch it a bit higher than that. You want a bigger budget than that.
100 grand for show, because I'm directing it now.
Can I know what is the angle? Is he going for the history of it? Is he going for the engineering? Is he going for the human stories of how they were constructed?
All those things.
And more.
Plus access to secret places the nation will never see otherwise.
What, like nuclear bunkers?
Tell me the headline. Tell me the big exclusive that you've got on tunnels.
Lady Diana! No, that's because the word tunnel got said. Oh no, my brain's broken. I think what is the exclusive thing is we're going to bring you unseen and extraordinary places from a new and fresh angle, like them nuclear bunkers that the government have got. But imagine it presented not in an academic, musty way, but in a rock and roll fun way, with the human stories that you mentioned. Also talking about the engineering and bringing a secret London that lies beneath our feet to life. Not just London, a secret world.
Paris catacombs.
The Paris catacombs. You know, we live in this world, we think we see simply what's on the surface, but beneath the surface there is another kingdom, another world. We will take you to that world, this mystical kingdom that lurks beneath the earth. What about that?
Yeah, will you actually build a tunnel as part of it? Will you actually explore the different techniques?
Sarah, we certainly could do that.
That'll be a bit boring.
We've got to get her on board, because she's in charge at the moment.
With a boring machine.
Boring a hole into the centre of the earth like Sir Phileas Fogg done in his book 20 Leagues Up the Sea.
Tell me the most interesting tunnel story you've got.
Go on, Matthew. Come on, you've got to have a tunnel story. Okay. This is your moment.
In Kent, the people who would have been the resistance if the Germans had invaded, they dug a load of tunnels just in case the Germans did invade, and people were going to be hidden down them. Some of them are still there.
But those tunnels are now used by perverts to do a little game they call Mole It Mole It, Mole It Mole It, where they mole around snuffling about up each other.
That's not true.
That bit isn't true, but we could do things like that, and it could be an animated bit, and it would be voiced by me, Noel Gallagher, David Williams, and Paul McKenna.
And there used to be hellfire clubs underground.
Hellfire clubs in High Wycombe, I think they are, aren't they? And there's, all sort of the poetry.
Satanism underground.
And Alistair Crowley, the Satanism. And we have this, as the theme tune, we know Paul Weller a bit, we'll get going underground as the theme tune of it. It's going to be brilliant, Sarah. Get behind it.
I do think that the mixture of perversion and star quality is starting to sell it to me.
It is, you see. That's what keeps me alive. Perversion and star quality. Without that, we wouldn't even have this radio show. So, will you help us to pitch it?
I will. Yeah.
Well, you're coming into a show. What are you? Head of factual at what?
I'm head of factual at Endemol. Yeah.
See, you're important. Right, let's get down to where do you think we should pitch it,
We need
Sarah?
to make a pilot. We need to get something on tape.
Well, do we? Can't we just get the funding from the channel?
No, you've got to sell it. You've got to write something up and then send it in.
We'll write a treatment up, but do you want us to put something down on tape?
Yeah, and these days you can't fake anything. You know that, don't you?
Oi, watch it! This is Auntie, the BBC now. Come on, Sarah. For heaven's sake, this is a very proud, fine institution. Now, come on, let's get behind the BBC. They bring us beautiful programming, hour after hour, day after day, year after year. God bless you, Mom. Now, so why don't you help us then? And where are we going to take it?
Discovery's good.
Okay.
Or if you want to be more engineering and blokey. Or BBC 4 if you want to be a bit more intellectual.
Are you all right? Are you just coughed then? I'm worried about you.
I'm just coughing. I've been smoking too much.
Pack it in. It's bad for you. Don't drop dead before Matt gets his debut programme. It'd be terrible, Sarah.
I think it'll be funny as well. It'll be entertaining. It'll be,
Yeah, it'll be like, it'll get a cult audience because it'll be interesting and with an academic edge, but then it will it'll have a life after that as well.
There's some really, really good stories about how some tunnels were built,
Really?
Yeah.
Go on.
When Isambard Kingdom Brunel was building the Thames Tunnel, he watched a beetle burying under the ground, and that's how he came up with his tunnel boring machine, by watching a beetle do it.
Cool. Sexy little devil. That's what inspired me to do number 64, my new hit record as well. I just watched the Beatle do it. So, hey, Sarah, all right, then we'll talk to you. And will you come on the show and keep our listeners updated on how Matt's quest for tunnel stardom is going?
Can we get a verbal contract on it?
Yeah, will do. If
that's a verbal contract,
yeah.
Right, okay. Thank you very much, Sarah. That was lovely, Sarah Ramsden from Endemol. Bye, darling. That's just good, edifactual. Right, we'll do it BBC 4. We'll take it to Auntie first, show we're loyal, shall we, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, okay, we'll take it there first. We'll give them first dibs on it.
What we could do with the tunnel show, get someone like Morrissey, say to him, have you got a favourite underground space? Yeah. And then we can have a celebrity element.
Well,
Morrissey
how long is this show going to be? Half hour?
Half hours.
How many? 6 half hours?
6 half hours. Or maybe because if it's Discovery, they might want 10.
They might want 10 if it's Discovery, but
you
we'll
go
take
there, you take
first.
a celebrity down there, you interview him in a tunnel, they talk about it, and it's all weird and eerie.
Talk to people down the tunnel, Morrissey.
We need a good lighting guy.
Anyone out there with a torch and a bit of nous, here's an opportunity for you. But you must have nous. Do not call us up if you ain't got no nous. 88 to 91, that's our text thing. 0500 288 291, that's our telephony thing. Russell.brand@bbc.co.uk, that's that other thing, what's electric letters. All right, Russell Dole, says Kieran. Jessica Delfino is a bit of... this is about that vagina lady that we talked to. Last week we discussed a woman that either sings songs about or out of her vagina. Now... Or...
She bends over and sings them in.
She sings them...
That's what I've heard.
She sings them into her own vagina.
She's like a letter C.
Matthew, that's so dangerously close to making me say the worst swear word on earth that you should not have done it. So anyway, some people think... I am blaming you. I will blame you for my mind. I will blame you. So listen to this. This is from Ellie from Blackburn. She's only 14. The brand bitch and switch bitch woohoo. I'm in Blackburn. I'm eating my own soup. Crikey. I had my ears pierced today, so your sexy tones are healing my ears. Get that singing vagina on. I reckon she'll be like Enya. Fine. Okay, then. So that young girl wants her on. That's one person. Someone else says, dear lads, Jessica Delfino is actually ace. Check out the I Want to Be Famous song and cartoon video. It's how Russell's life may have gone if he weren't talented. The song Grand Piano, about where someone did a thing in a piano. I say put her on the programme. That's from AJ. So, it seems why not get this vagina lady on to sing either out of, into or about her vagina.
I hope we haven't made people go and see her thinking that it's some sort of sick and twisted stunt.
What, and then they'll be disappointed?
And she's just singing and then they might shout stuff out.
Well, oi, love, sing into it. Sing out of it. Sing by it. Sing about it. Well, no, we can't really have a confederacy of perverts that we loyally defend all over the globe. No. Can we, Matthew?
No, we can't.
So let's get her up. Mikey, get old Jessica Delfino on a blower. Tell her to hold it at arm's length because we don't want any monkey business, do we? We don't have anything saucy going on. We're trying to have our distilled radio programme. Listen to this. Matthew, why are you wearing a tea cosy on your head? Says Dawn Chapman. So how come she can see him? That means that thing's not pointing in the right direction.
There's two of them.
What? Where's the webcam?
Over there.
That thing, is that pointing at you?
That favours me and that one favours you.
It's not favouring me enough. I know a thing or two about camera angles and that thing is not giving me... That's not a very nice angle.
It's pointing right at you.
It's designed to be poking itself right at Wogan, who ain't here. So, where is Wogan anyway? Why should he be here?
He doesn't live here.
I often wonder whether he does or doesn't, Matt. Will we ever truly know what Wogan does, where Wogan goes, what Wogan knows? Hello, Russell, Matt, G, everybody. Say Casey and Carrie Ann. We are in Ibiza drinking lots while waiting for our coach to take us home to sunny Canvey Island, Essex. And we thought we might send you an email. It's a long journey. We are regular listeners to the show, and we would be listening to it now if we weren't stuck in a cheesy hotel. There's currently a parrot show about parrots riding around on little bikes. We're going to ring
I used to
PETA.
like those shows.
Yeah, I did a bit, but I don't think them parrots liked that, mate. And I think it's...
Look at you, just because PETA was mentioned. I bet if that hadn't come up, you'd have gone, yeah, I did as well.
Hey, I like those parrots. Why don't we kill one?
I used to throw popcorn at them.
There, make them go faster. Sometimes the parrots didn't do what I wanted, and that's when I got rough. Come on then, parrot. Want some rough stuff? Try me.
No, because I'm a fan of the parrots. So, here, go on then, Matthew. There's some things you want me to say. Go on then, what are they?
What?
You said something about some girls, some programmes.
fool.
Come on then.
I'm not prepared.
Well, you should be prepared. Stop faffing, woman.
Well-
There's a couple of teachers we met the other day at a gig.
Yeah, well, I
You
haven't got
want to
that
say
email.
something
I asked
about them?
Mikey for it. Look at him running around.
Mikey, you scurrying little rat bag. Why
Give me
can't you
that,
simply do
please.
your job? This radio show, there's people listening to this now in cars, in lavatories. There's one person having sex. Listen to this. Paul B. I've been listening to your show since the good old days in Radio 6. It's improved massively since then. You're obviously some sort of brilliant genius. I wanted to say thank you for the following reason. Last Saturday, I was listening to your show when my girlfriend and I suddenly felt a bit amorous. We decided to express our love physically while listening to your radio show. It was a great deal of joy for us to release sexual enjoyment while you talked in the background. I think it helped us both achieve climax, and we really liked it a lot. Please tell your listeners to try it. They'll see a difference. If you are over the age of 16, which is the age of consent, and in a loving relationship, why not try having it off while listening to our radio show and texting us during the act of climax? Why not? That'll be a good thing to do, won't it? Yeah. Have it off while listening to us, or if you are on your own, simply do the best you can with your imagination and whatever limbs you fancy doing it with too. You'll know. Just enjoy yourselves.
Right.
Now,
Yeah,
what,
let me do
Matthew?
my email.
All right, everyone, Matt's doing an item.
Don't turn into an item.
Matt Morgan's email corner. He does an email trying his best. Look at how he pauses and stutters and forgets to do the name at the beginning to establish character of the writer. Yeah.
This is from Gersharan. Me and my...
Don't blow off during your item, Matt, because people find it off-putting.
Me and my sister came to see you on Thursday at that theatre. Never seen you, but this is you, obviously, not me. Never seen you before live. Actually, you were really rather good. I forgot to say the other day, blah, blah, blah. Apart from the remarks you were making about teachers, though, and this is mainly because I am one, but I teach ICT. Don't know what that is.
ICT. International... I can only think of swear words. What a rubbish vocabulary.
ICT, not PE, because you're having to go at PE teachers.
Perhaps ICT, that is the lesson.
ICT. I see coffee.
I suppose you could restrict your comments to PE teachers because they only ever like kids that are good at PE. So obviously not you. But they always seem to be quite good looking, don't you think? Like art teachers, they're mostly quite fit.
Okay, well, no, I don't think so. I'm not having a go at teachers because they're doing a good job. They're not getting enough money.
You
but...
always say, don't go to school yet, don't do exams
Actually-
yet, follow me in the revolutions, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I do say that, and I better say it again. Don't go to school, yeah? Don't do exams, yeah? Go to school wearing stuff that's going to make people feel threatened, yeah? Dress up as bears and just go crazy. Everyone, let's go nuts, woo! Yeah, do go to school if you feel like it, but don't let them condition all the beauty out of you. Remember that you're probably right, just intuitively. Remember to stay at one with your spiritual self and not think, oh, yeah, I'll just be bludgeoned into conforming,
Bide
told
your
off all the time.
Learn the rules, learn the stuff,
rules,
get all the
steady.
information.
Slowly, catchy monkey. Chuckle vision row teacher cleared. A supply teacher has been cleared of hitting a 13-year-old boy who teased him about looking like a character from the Chuckle Brothers TV show. Like that, a character from the Chuckle Brothers TV show. Which one was it? Was it the washerwoman? Was it the wise old Earl? No, it was one of the Chuckle Brothers, the only characters in that show. Jonathan Burrett, 41 from Newport, has denied attacking the boy after he sang the Chucklevision theme tune in class. That boy, that must be annoying. If you're a teacher,
I'm on the boys' side.
I'm on the boys' side so far because, like, you know, if you're a teacher, don't look like Barry Chuckle or either of the Chuckles. Don't look like that because the moustache is the key element. That's the insignia.
I bet if a kid looked like someone, like Harry Potter, I bet
Yeah,
the
they
teacher would go, oh, hello, Harry Potter.
Okay, Harry Potter. Barry Chuckle.
Chuckle vision, chuckle vision.
Yeah, so what happened about him?
Well, this is what happened next, mate. This is incredible news. Mr. Burrett told Cardiff Crown Court he was used to being compared to Barry Chuckle and he'd never been mean a problem. I like it. I find it flattering. I like
Well,
both
so
of
hang on,
the
he
chuckles.
denies hitting him. I didn't hit him.
I didn't hit him.
I'm always called Barry Chuckle.
People call me Barry Chuckle every day. And I, to tell you the truth, I laugh at it. It's more than a chuckle. It's a guffaw, is what I do. I reckon it winds you right up. If you're a teacher, you look a bit like Barry Chuckle. People are going, chuckle, chuckle, vision, a chuckle, vision, chuckle, chuckle, vision. You get right on your nerves, wouldn't it? It winds you up. And I bet that kid, well, let's have a listen. The jury took less than an hour to find the married father of one, why does it put that in? To make him sound like he's a good citizen, not guilty of assault and causing actual bodily harm. Speaking after the case, Mr. Barrett said, chuckle, chuckle, vision, a chuckle, vision. He said, there's a concern amongst many teachers that when they are using lawful restraints upon unruly pupils, it could result in them being charged with a criminal offence.
But so he did use some restraint.
He used restraint.
On what, a song?
Well, he didn't restrain the song, he restrained the singer. In this case, a little boy.
I didn't think he held musical notes out of the sky.
He got a big treble clef and tore it to shreds. He got a minim in an arm lock. There it goes. He goes, I'm obviously pleased that this is over as I'm walking out the door with my clean character,
my ladder and my brother.
Be careful with that ladder. To me, to you, to me, to you, to you, to me. Ah, what have you been doing? For God's sake, man, you look dreadful. You're wasting away. I'm obviously very pleased that this is over. I'm walking out the door with my clean character completely intact. I'm looking forward to telling my wife and daughter. They should have turned up at court. The court had previously heard that the boy had been singing or humming the theme tune. He might have been a revolutionary to the Chuckle Vision during a sewing lesson.
But you know when you meet famous people, and we've discussed this.
Oh yeah. You sing their song. You can't help
think
it.
About it. You just accidentally sing it. So he was just sitting there and
thinking Chuckle Vision, thinking
Chuckle Vision, and then that bloke
scratching him. Scratched him like an angry squirrel, like a little chuckle squirrel. Chuckle, I'll chuckle. You chuckle me, I'll chuckle you. Because I used to see Adamski sometimes, and whenever I see Adamski, who's actually a really brilliant bloke, I used to go dum 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 dum, and he'd go, "Why are you doing that for?" I go, "No reason." Right, and who else is it that we do it with?
I used to know Dave. Well, I know Dave from Blur, and I used to think Blur songs.
I used to think Blur songs because of Dave Rowntree at Blur. I used to, like before we knew the lads out of Kasabian, I used to know a girl that had been out with a Serge. So this is even worse. This wasn't even them. She'd been out with Sergio from Kasabian, and then I was going out with her, and she told me about Sergio, and I used to always be, and then I'd think, oh, why am I doing that song? And I think, oh yeah, it's because she used to go out with him. She'd go, could you not do that, please? I'd go,
oh
what?
God, she noticed it.
Yeah, she did notice it.
So
it was embarrassing. So maybe that Chuckle Vision kid couldn't help it. It was just a sort of an inwards response, that he had an impulse that he had no control over. So the court had previously heard that the boy had been singing or humming the theme tune to Chuckle Vision during a sewing lesson at the comprehensive school. God, what a thankless task. As a person who went to a comprehensive school, and they didn't teach you how to talk, but God,
Comprehensive.
I'm from a Hensive, but I sew real good. I just sewed my tongue to my nose. A comprehensive school in Torfaen. I don't know what that means. Where Mr. is a place office. Torfaen, eh? Where Mr. Barrett was on a 3-day placement. He's not even a proper teacher. He's turned up and started knocking the kids about, although he's been proved that he hasn't done that, so he didn't. He's not done anything wrong, and I'm sorry if I suggested for a moment that he did by saying that he did, but I take it back.
That's why he's a supply teacher, because he can't stay in one place too long until someone goes, hang on a minute.
Hang on a minute. Chuckle Vision, so he has to literally stowbar it off. There's a voice, keeps on calling me on the road. That's where I'll always be. I've got to chuckle off out of it. Yeah, Mr. Barrett was alleged to have asked the boy to stop singing before hitting him 4 times to the back and grabbing him by the shirt. Hey, you've got me by my shirt. Get off it. He wasn't wearing the shirt at the time. It was drying on a windowsill. Hey, leave that shirt alone. Oi, Chuckle, leave my shirt alone.
4 times?
4 times. That seems that it's not excessive because it's been legally proven. However, Mr. Barrett maintained that he had patted the boy in a friendly and gentle way.
Hey, you. Worse. Hey, guys. Hey. Love the Chuckle stuff.
Great work with the Chuckle stuff, because I see now that I do look a bit like old Chucky Pooth, but would you mind being a little bit quiet? However, yeah, right, he told the jury that he'd spoken quietly, put his hand on the boy's shoulder and his chair to try and place it on the floor because he'd been tilting back on it. Who didn't do that at school, right, kids? Because you have to have a little tilt at school. Careful, you'll fall over. Careful, you'll fall over. But no one ever actually did.
Yes, they did.
Oh, yeah. Chuckle vision. Mr. Barrett had also denied being angered by the Chuckle Brother jibe. Chuckle Brother jibe.
That's a really embarrassing thing in court to go,
No, mate.
No, I loved
What's
it.
that, mate? No, I love the Chuckle Brother jibe.
Oh, I loved it. Is that what we're here for? Oh, that little thing.
Oh, come on. Oh, blimey. No, I've forgotten. Yeah, I suppose I do look a bit chaka, don't I? But the jibe didn't bother me. Explaining that other children had previously made the same comparison, but he would diffuse the situation with humour, often tripping over a ladder and banging his head on his brother's arse. Hey, you might think I look like him. Watch how I live my life. And off he went. He told the court, I did have a large moustache at the time, and there's a photo of him. He shaved it off. So he obviously was a bit browned off about it, 'cause why ain't he still got his moustache?
That's odd.
I did have a large moustache at the time. I expect as somebody of limited intelligence, I would look like Barry from Chuckle Vision.
What, he said of limited intelligence?
He did. He's having a dig now at the lad. He's trying his best to do some sewing.
So hang on, he said, I don't mind at all, but anyone who does say it is an idiot.
Yeah, I don't mind it if thickos think I look like Barry Chuckle with my exact head of Barry Chuckle. There's a picture of him here. I've never seen someone look so much like Barry Chuckle.
Well, so hang on, he must have
Chuckle
shaved
himself
off his tash. Cause he
yes, look, there he is, Matt, and you can have a look on the BBC website. It's on there somewhere on the news bit, Thursday the 19th, so it's only on there. I don't know, you'd find something like that, but I don't know, you're all experts on emails, and you kids, you'll find it.
Search Chuckle
Look
Vision,
at him. He does look like Chuckle Vision bloke without a moustache. He shaved his moustache off. Don't he, Matthew? Right, there he is there without his moustache.
He doesn't really.
No, he does. Come on, it's better.
That's Chuckle at the bottom, you idiot. It's Chuckle himself.
And oddly, he's got a little mate who looks like the other one. These two should be split up because the jibes will never stop at this rate. So why did he shave his moustache off?
Sewing?
Yeah, you don't get Barry Chuckle in to do sewing. He'll sew his own hands up, won't he? And then his brother will come in, break his sewing machine. It's going to be bonkers. It's a silly way to run a textiles class. Speaking after the case, Mr. Barrett said he was very pleased the ordeal was over, adding, I'm walking out the door with my clean character completely intact, but my dirty ones spilled all over the stairs. He didn't say that last bit. Mr. Barrett, who was not taught since the incident last July, was unsure when he returned to teaching, but said he hoped to give it another go. Thank you for sending us that, Mark Watson. It's jolly funny.
That's very odd, isn't it? I don't understand. Because his one argument was, I do look like him and I don't mind.
Yeah.
Then if I was the judge to go, well, where's your moustache?
Why did he bus through that, mate?
Where's the tash?
Oh, no, I don't mind. People say it all the time. Right, hold on. Well, I want this case reopened. Yeah, exactly, Matthew. One hand is going, yeah, I don't mind, it happens all the time. The other hand is going, well, I suppose if you're thick as pig poop, I do look like Barry Chuckle. Why have you shaved your moustache off? I don't know why I done it. Don't judge me, though. I will judge you. I'm a judge. Oh, whoops.
My brother shaved that off in the night as part of a show we're making.
It was an accident, actually. He was trying to trim my nasal hair. He shaved off my entire moustache. Ridiculous, really. OK, the show is nearly over. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's about that time. It's, in fact, exactly that time where we get the poet laureate of our show. Some say the best poet in the whole damn country, Mr. G, to summarise the show while me and Matt create atmosphere just with our cleavage. Woo! Yeah, go on. All right.
This poem is called Everything. I'm the mics in the studio, I absorb the madness. I take in the thoughts and ponderings to transmit all the gladness, such as escaping the land of fairies by the skin of our teeth, obtaining the ancient rhino horn to fight the spirit of parking schemes. It hardly seems feasible that Brown and Brand could ever meet for a little piece of FaceTime to push the envelope out into the street. I'm the switches being flipped, the music being played, the crazy links to the newsy poos, the tunes that make your day. Who's to say that Bugsy Malone won't ever lead the way as the anthem of the revolution or to Noel's Love Egg Parade? Matt's still tunneling away on his phone playing the snake game. Russell sold it with a rock and roll bit to control it and make it more insane. I'm the pad on which G writes, the poem left to recite, concluding a night of chuckling delights. I'm the last breath on the mic. I am everything.
Woohoo! Everything! Look at that! It was about the unity, the divinity that divides and no unites all of us.
Head.
Gee, you big boaster, you're not everything, are you? You're worse than that Barry Chuckle bloke that teaches me to do stitches. So, OK, well done, Mr. G. Another fantastic poem that you will enjoy if you've listened to the whole show. Thanks for all of your emails. Apologies to those that I didn't get round to reading out. It's just because my eyes won't go quickly enough. If we offended you in any way, sorry about that. Didn't mean to. Can't imagine how we'd have done it. It's been a bloody brilliant show, ain't it? Oh, we're going to have to throw to that Newsy Poos lady in a minute. Looking forward to that because I noticed a little bit of
chemistry between her and me. Mr. G ain't the only one you see who could do poetry. Cause when it comes to newsy poos, I would like to get that flu. Steer for what for? Yeah, over the news desk. Yeah, woohoo!
Russell, please.
Sorry, what I just said then was wrong. What? Sorry, what? What do you mean? Flues. Yeah, floozy, you know. What's the name? I didn't mean like she's a professional prostitute. She's a newsreader, for heaven's sake, and a damn fine one. And it could be interesting because she can hear this now, and in a minute she's got to read the news. It's brilliant. I like that fact about the old life. Thank you, Noel Gallagher, for your lovely contributions. Thank you, Sarah McDonald, for making sure that Noel was wearing some lovely, lovely little special eggy wegs in his back pocket. Keep him vibrant, know what I mean? And you know, you lot, I love you very much. You know that, don't you? It's a sincere and genuine love, a kind of a unity, a divinity, like in everything. Like G said, I'm touching my nipples while I'm saying that. Yes, thanks for pointing that out, Mr. G. Remember to do that thing, www.number-10.gov.uk. Hound our government.
And hound Endemol about my tunnel show.
Hound them about his tunnel show. Oh, that's going to happen anyway, because like, we don't need to hound them. Matt said that point at the end, like Enoch Powell. Hound Endemol. We've just had head of factual programming saying she will...
She was just...
Hound her! We might...
She was joking.
She wasn't joking. She was up for it. Let's look, hound... There's no one to hound. I think we'll just go in and get that tunnel show.
I think we should make a pilot.
All right, then. Let's make a pilot. If you want to hound anyone, perhaps send things to the BBC, right? But without mentioning it. Say, as a young person, I don't know nothing about tunnels. I don't know if I'd like to. Why not get some new talent to present a tunnel show? Say that. Just do loads of them, but do it all anonymously so it confuses people. Right. Yes, that's a good plan. So hound Brownie, hound people about tunnel programmes. BBC 4 is where we're aiming it first, so hound them. Thank you, everyone. Keep sending us your emails. Tell us stuff you want us to do on the show. We'll do it. It's your show. We only make it so you can listen to it. We're doing the ice cream thing in September. Fleets of ice cream vans will tour the globe, and we'll all be free in a glorious revolution, which I know sounds daft at this stage, but we're building its intellectual weight week after week after week. I love you people in a genuine and real way.
Russell,
what, mate?
We went off air about a minute ago.
What? We're not on the radio anymore?
Yes, we are.
Oh, good. Oh, thank God for that. Christ. Where's my taxi? Right, OK, so it's time now for that delicious newscaster. We had her on our show a little bit earlier. What's her name again, Matthew?
Susan
Newsy Poosy.
Ray. Susan Ray.
Susan Ray. What do you say? Here, the next voice you hear will be the sexy voice of Susan Ray.
Stop rubbing yourself.
I will not stop rubbing myself till I've got all that news down my brain throat. Right here, everyone. Time now for a little bit of news. Stay with us. This is your show. Fight the power. It's 88 to 91 FM. This is Radio 2 from the BBC.
BBC Radio 2. Russell Brand.